Hey, welcome to a new Viva Physical Media. Look at this. It's episode 116, Living the Dream. We're back after a little break. You watched Rich's Marathon last week. Before that, you got to see us at Video Store Day. By the way, thank you for everybody, to everybody who came out for Video Store Day. That was the biggest single day in Scarecrow history by a lot. Almost by two plus times what we made.
Magnitudes greater. We made more money than anyone's ever made in the history of money.
So thank you for all your support and everyone who helped out.
Yes.
And everybody who came to see us.
Even you. Thank you.
Not you. Moving on to a new episode, just a little bit of quick housekeeping. There's going to be a member screening this coming Tuesday, the 18th at 7:30 p.m. at the Northwest Film Forum, and that is going to be Miracle Mile. Director Steve DeJarnot will be there. So if you're a member, you can check that out. It's free if you're a Scarecrow member, and I believe if you're a Grand Illusion member as well. So make sure you check that out.
And Miracle Mile is a great movie if you haven't seen it.
It is a great movie.
And even if you have seen it, come on, the director's going to be there.
Go see it again. But that's pretty much it. So with no further ado,
let's get right into
the episode.
116, let's go.
Mailbag. That sounded pretty good for Emalie not being here. I was pleased.
Yeah, not bad.
We have two mailbags. They're Video Store Day related. You go first.
Okay. This is from Scarecrow favorite Sophia, along with her fleet-footed friend Maverick.
Oh, the Maverick.
Cat. Hello, Viva. I'm back in electronic mail form, as I promised in the comment section of the video about Video Store Day. I brought Mav. Unfortunately, because I work, I had to go later in the day and missed you guys. That's sad. I let him walk around and smell some movies. Then I carried him around to smell some more movies higher up on the shelves. Finally, I went upstairs and let him direct me around in the stroller. Here are his Video Store Day picks. Eraserhead, Homework, Hedwig and the Angry Inch, Drag Me to Hell. Parenthetical, he plopped down in front and looked very relaxed and happy for this one. So, good job, Maverick.
Good job,
He's a
Maverick.
Raimi fan. Cure, Fish, Live at the Clifford Ball, which is really funny because, it's P-H-I-S-H, but cats like Fish in general.
And you love Fish.
And I like Fish the band, which I've seen over 100 times in concert. And the entirety of One Piece in the animation section. For me, I picked up Cinemographics' release of Elaine May's A New Leaf. I forgot to pick up my membership card and the tote bag, so I'll be back soon. Maybe Maverick will too. I hope so, because it's always fun to see you and Maverick, either or, and together is the best.
Yeah,
so,
I'm sorry we missed you.
We'll see you next time. But thank you for the letter.
Thank you for the letter, Sophia and Maverick. That was lovely. I've got one from David Rees. He's written to us before. I hope I'm saying your name right, David. If I'm not, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What am I going to do? You can't talk back, really, so it's fine.
Send us an angry email.
Don't.
Or do.
Season's greetings, Viva crew. I count my lucky stars that I live in a city that has Scarecrow Video. In fact, we count our lucky stars that we're in a city in which you live. I went to Video Store Day bright and early at 10:30 a.m. to drain my wallet on the sweet deals being offered. I commend all the staff working that day. Thank you, so do we.
Thank you.
And handling the chaos very well. Attached is a photo of my haul of what I purchased and would love to have your opinion on my pickups. Since I spent well over $100, I spun the prize wheel, which rewarded me with 5 Bollywood films, which I'm sure will be delightful.
Pretty good.
I want to call out that because Matt so highly recommended Night of the Juggler in one previous episode, I had to buy it, and it was an amazing movie. I told you.
He's always right.
Keep on giving recommendations and talking about movies. Best wishes, Dave. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, David.
Let's have a look at Dave's haul.
Yeah, and here's the picture.
Vice Academy 1-6 box set. Nice. Good. I've only seen Vice Academy 1 and 2. The Rage 4K, Carry 2 4K. Night of the Juggler, In the Mouth of Madness, new 4K, right? No, that's just the blue.
No, that's the original blue, yeah. It just came out on Arrow.
Yeah, that's right. That is an Arrow, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Deathstalker and Deathstalker 2.
Yeah.
Man, Deathstalker 2 is like, did you see the new one?
No, it played at Fantastic Fest, but it was like super popular, and I was like, I'm just going to get something else.
Deathstalker 2 is a parody movie, which I didn't know until I watched it.
Yeah, I've watched them all but years ago, and I've seen the MST does one of them, I think 4. A lot, so I've seen that one the most.
Deathstalker 2 actually has like parody scenes. There's like a Rocky part where they do a Rocky thing.
Jesus, no, I didn't know that. That's insane.
Cabinet Dr. Caligari, Ilsa She-Wolf for the SS.
Yeah.
Spinal Tap Criterion, No Country Criterion, Godzilla vs. Biollante,
Yeah.
Nora, all good. And then these Bollywood
And then the
movies are
Bollywood,
good.
which I've not seen
That
any
must
of
have been a
those.
mystery box.
Yeah, I think so.
That's very cool, Dave.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming by and supporting us
Yes,
and writing us a
excellent.
cool letter.
Yeah. And you too out there can also support us by coming in and spending $100 or $5 or $1,000, your choice.
Or $1 million.
$1 million. Spend what you want. Or, also online. Rent by mail. We put new t-shirts up on the website, so by all means,
Yeah, we
check
just
those
put those
out.
up. We got a bunch of new merch. You can get a membership.
Get a membership, help us out. What are you doing? Sitting there by yourself watching this? Come
Watching
on.
this? Come on in.
Get on there. Do something.
And before you do it, though, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the
Please.
channel.
It helps the
mash that
algorithm, which we're all, enslaved to.
Enslaved by, yeah. It's just the way of the future.
It is. We're all going to be part of the algorithm eventually.
Yeah. I thought that was a pretty good
Mailbag.
All right, what do you got?
For my first ever Viva pick, I'm doing the underseen fantastic Korean film Night Before the Strike. This movie takes place in 1987, which was a very, very big year in, the labor issues in South Korea. Over the years, there was a lot of sporadic movements. In 1980, there was a huge, huge deal.
What happened next was to scar the South Korean memory forever. The paratroopers deployed through the city and went around clubbing and beating protesters and ordinary people who were not involved with the movement. They entered hotels, cafes, office buildings, beating, torturing, and even killing civilians indiscriminately. Eventually, the army began to open fire on pedestrians, killing unarmed protesters and bystanders.
And in 1987, it was probably the most labor strikes and just visible hatred of the government in the history of the entire country. So where this movie picks up is in the autumn of 1987, and it takes place at a sheet metal factory. And the very first scene is all the workers are at their break in their cafeteria, and one guy looks a little despondent. And he stands up and he's just fucking done with it. And he's like, this place sucks, this food sucks, you treat us like shit. And immediately all the ranking officials grab his ass and kick him out, and you never see him again. And that sticks with a lot of the people there because they're like, this isn't cool at all. And it starts a little rumbling about, hey, maybe we should get organized. So management hears a little bit about this. And what does management do?
노무관리가 지금 80년대입니다. 노무관리의 가장 좋은 방법은 예방 조치예요. 획기적인 노하우를 개발해 보세요.
They want to get someone on the inside. Enter Hansu. Hansu is just a normal guy, girlfriend. They dream of making enough money to move away. He wants to pay for his brother to go to college. He knows all this is going to take time, so he has to start working immediately, and he's there. And they see him as the naive guy who they could manipulate to be their inside dude.
별거 아니야.
So they offer him promotions. They offer him, you're going to have a huge future in the company, but what you got to do, you got to spy on all the other guys and tell us the dirt. And he sort of does. He hooks up with a group of guys, and it's your cadre that you see in all these movies. There's the veteran, there's the hothead, there's like the lazy guy. All your stereotypes are there, but they're all like mostly good-natured dudes. They just want to do their job, but they don't want to be shit on doing it, and they like a little extra money. But management has complete contempt for them.
상이 얘기하지만 노조는 절대 안 돼. 요새 한참 끝발 올라가는 판에 이 무슨 꼴이야? 학생 새끼들 데모해서 민주화인가 지랄인가 되더니 이젠 꽁돌이 새끼까지 서러니 나 참 더러워서.
The movie itself doesn't shine anything new on labor. If you've ever seen a movie about labor, you've seen this movie before, you've seen these steps before. You basically are just waiting to see, is Han-soo going to figure it out by the end, or is he just going to go down as a traitor to the cause? A very interesting thing about this movie is it was made during the actual protests in the late 80s. And the steelworking factory that they actually filmed in was actually occupied by the employees while they made this movie. This is actually the very first independent film ever made in South Korea. It was made on 16 by complete non-professionals. They were a collective of activists who wanted to make films to push a socialist agenda. And this was their second film. Some of the extras in the movie are actually people who worked at the steel plant who were staying there to occupy it because they kicked management out and they were holding it hostage. And they made this movie there while they did it. This movie reminds me a lot of another movie I like quite a bit called Man of Iron by Andrzej Wajda. And that movie is very similar to this. It was made during a unique thaw in Polish filmmaking where the Soviet government was like, go ahead and make whatever you want. And Wajda was like, fucking okay, let's go. And he basically is filming the then burgeoning Solidarity movement. And that movie is about a kind of disgraced journalist who is employed by the government to go into it and undermine it the same way Hansu is. Both movies were about a labor movement that was happening at the moment. Both of them were about a protagonist used by capital to try to undermine it. They were both banned by their government. This movie, the government, this never had an actual release in Korea. It was spirited secretly from college to college and shown secretly to thousands, and I think by the end of it, hundreds of thousands of students. The government would raid the colleges after it was shown to try to find the print, but by that point it was already spirited away to another college. It's very hard to see. This is the first time it's ever come out. It was released a few months ago, earlier this year, I think.
Didn't you buy this?
I bought this for the store because I've seen this movie before and I really like it. Like I said, it's nothing new if you've seen later movies before, but it's just, it's really good. And when you finish this movie, you're going to want to go out and punch a scab in his face.
I watched this on your recommendation as well, and I thought it was really great.
난 가난이 싫어요.
My pick this week is something I've been sitting on for a while. I've been wanting to watch. It's called A Fugitive from the Past. It's from 1965. It's directed by Tomu Uchida, whose movies I'm not super familiar with, but he was pretty prolific in the 60s, 50s and 60s in Japan. And it is based on a famous Japanese novel. It starts out on Hokkaido, and there is like a typhoon. And these two guys are on a train, they're headed out of town. And there's a third dude with them, and they're clearly kind of up to no good. Right. But we don't know exactly what they've done. And they're talking about how because of the winds and the typhoon that the fire is going to spread really fast. But we don't exactly know what they're talking about. They managed to get off of the island. There's a huge storm, all of this bad stuff. Cut to the next day, and we see that the fire has destroyed a huge part of this town. But the police think they have found the source of the fire, which is this house that burned down and a family that lived inside.
3人の死体はそれぞれ左右上顎部に大きな打撲裂傷を受けており
And they were murdered, and somebody set the house on fire.
Ooh.
Cut to later, a few days later, 2 of the 3 guys, their dead bodies wash up on the beach.
しかし君、引き取り人のね死体が2つとも同じところに傷があってるの妙じゃねえ。
The detective notices that they both have similar wounds on their head. He suspects that they didn't drown.
Right.
And they weren't on the manifest of this ferry that was caught up in the storm. And so he thinks that, like, for whatever reason, these guys are murdered and thrown in the water. The third dude, who was the one who was, like, listening to the other 2 guys talk about the fire, he's the one who we don't know what happened to him yet. Now we spend a big chunk of this movie following that third guy. He's all by himself. He takes days and days. He's traveling all by himself. He finds a village. He's totally exhausted. You know, he hasn't been eating for days, and he takes shelter with this prostitute, this sex worker. She doesn't exactly fall in love with him, but they sleep together. Sure. She becomes obsessed with him a little bit, but eventually he just leaves. He takes off, but he leaves her with a big stack of money, and she is able to sort of start her life over with this money. Like, she's able to pay off all of her debts, and she's able to move into the city. She betters herself.
She's better off.
Money. Yeah.
Right.
Meanwhile, the detective is trying to track down this third guy. He's pretty sure he knows who the guy is, but he can't find him. He keeps sort of finding little traces. And somebody talks about how there was this woman who lived in Tokyo who may know him. Obviously, they're talking about the prostitute, but he can't find her. And eventually, he just loses the thread. Cut to years later. It's like
awesome.
10 years later now.
All right, this is good.
And she is, living in Tokyo. She's more prosperous. She's got a better handle on her life. One day, she reads a newspaper article about this rich guy who donated like 30 million yen to like a program that helps like ex-cons like rehabilitate and get back into society.
垂水恭一郎 都合この人犬飼さんだわ
But she's like, that's the guy.
Right.
And she's been obsessed with him ever since. And also because of what happened, because he gave her that money and she was able to turn her life around, she's always like wanted to thank him and reintegrate him into her life. She goes to see him and you kind of know where this is going. I don't want to spoil the ending. This is 3 hours long.
Wow.
Black and white scope.
That is surprising.
Yeah, I think it's based on a much bigger, like a much more sprawling novel.
Sure.
And that kind of makes sense when you watch it because it has the tone of like Les Miserables or Crime and Punishment.
Right.
Where it's like, it has these procedural trappings, but it's mostly about the characters going about their lives and being racked with guilt and, are they going to find out my secret?
Yeah, are they going to find his candlesticks?
Exactly, exactly. It has this really lush tone to it. And it's also like Night Before the Strike, it was shot on 16 millimeter, but they used all these different techniques to give it this grain. So they blew it up to make 35 millimeter prints.
Yeah,
and they also have like solarization effects that they use by like flipping the negative and double like optical printing on top of each other.
Cool.
And it looks and sounds really good. It's very deliberately paced. It's very slow. The acting is very theatrical. It's not a subtle movie.
Sure.
But it keeps like snowballing and snowballing and snowballing. And then like the last half hour is all just this like sad reckoning, sort of trudging to an inevitable conclusion.
Right.
Kind of like you're waiting for Raskolnikov to finally go like, I did it. I fucking killed the bitch.
Right.
I chopped her up.
Yeah.
But it's not, I mean, like, despite you kind of knowing the trajectory of it, it does have some final shifts in tone and shifts in the plot. So this definitely has like the structure and tone of something that almost like felt like is like 800 pages and written in serialized like monthly format for
That's awesome.
2 or 3 years, It's really, really good. I'm going to watch more of this guy's movies. I have a feeling that they're all going to be like a little disappointing to me at first because I'm going to want more like this.
Right.
And this seems very singular. Apparently it's very highly regarded critically. It was named like one of the 200 best Japanese films ever made.
Wow.
I would say that it totally belongs on that list. This is like a 5-star, good old classic stuff.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to watching
Yeah,
this.
you are going to love this when you have to watch it to get the clips out and stuff. This is awesome, and it's on a beautiful Arrow Blu-ray. I don't think it was available anywhere in the world, certainly not in this country, before this Blu-ray, so check this out. Fugitive from the Past, awesome movie. This dog movie.
Dog movie time, everyone.
I picked this one because it popped up on a feed on like Tubi or something like that. And I was like, what is this? And it looked fun. And it has a poster of James Garner. Well, the image I saw is James Garner looking at this Doberman.
It's like they're face to face.
But that doesn't have this. Anyway, it is 1972's They Only Kill Their Masters. Directed by James Goldstone, who did Roller Coaster that Emily talked about a little while back, and also directed my favorite Irwin Allen movie, When Time Ran Out, which is the volcano one with Paul Newman.
Yeah,
this is kind of like, it's a pretty janky procedural with some like comedic elements.
Yeah, and it's very almost made for TV-esque.
Very much so.
It's not. It was a in the theater film.
It has some awkward attempts at comedy, and starring James Garner 2 years before Rockford Files, it very much feels like they're trying to do Rockford Files before that was even a thing.
Well, he's coming off of things like Support Your Local Sheriff.
Yes, exactly.
Which,
and Maverick and stuff like
Maverick,
that.
Yeah, so he's made like a bunch of movies. He's a known actor.
Yes.
At this time, and well received. And then he's in this.
According to his memoirs, he doesn't want to talk about this. It starts with a woman being dragged out of the surf by a Doberman.
Who then stays by the body to guard it.
Yeah.
Angrily.
Won't let anybody near it.
Yeah.
Everybody else assumes that the dog killed the lady.
Right.
But if you're anyone normal, you'll be like, clearly that's the lady's dog.
Yeah, the dog is just protecting his master's body.
Yeah.
And this is also a very small town where there's like 3 police officers and they have 1 car. Like that's a running joke.
It's a running gag. Who's got the police car?
Who's got the police car?
Who's got to take a taxi that day?
Exactly.
Which is pretty funny.
What is it, Abel?
Where the hell's the keys?
You can't find the keys.
You can never find the key.
Our boy, James Gardner, he arrives from vacation from LA.
Yeah.
And so he's coming back to town into this mess.
He's the chief, but the town is sort of operated by the state police.
Yeah.
He initially starts to investigate the crime, assuming that the dog did it, but it becomes pretty clear that that didn't happen.
At this point, he's already been told they're putting the dog down.
Yeah.
Like
The
dog
dog's
did
name
it.
is Murphy.
The dog's name is Murphy. He knows they're going to put the dog down, so he's going there just to see when they're going to do it. He's not even really investigating that part of it yet, and he meets his best buddy, Hal Holbrook.
For a big dog like a shepherd or a dobe, it takes about a half an hour. You got quite a job. Better than yours.
Who is the local veterinarian.
Yeah.
And the woman who
his
is
secretary.
his secretary, who's
and
also new in town.
Her lab tech, too. His
lab tech, exactly.
I am Abel Mars, Chief of Police. I've got a court order here from the Campbell inquest to put away the Doberman Pinscher.
Nobody calls them Doberman Pinschers anymore. Just Doberman or Dobe.
It's Catherine Ross from Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. She's great in this, and honestly, in a role that like is not very demanding, but it's so poorly written that it's amazing that she gives a decent performance. Their whole relationship is strange. Like there's a scene in the middle of this movie where they go back to his house to have dinner, and he's like,
I was born in this house. In the front bedroom upstairs. It's the only bedroom.
she starts to talk and carry herself like she's, yes, I will fuck you in the room in which you were born.
Yeah, but first I'm going to toss this salad.
Yeah, first I'm going to toss the salad.
It's one of the worst pre-lovemaking hookup scenes in a kitchen you'll ever see.
It's pretty bad.
It is ridiculous.
I'm a normal heterosexual, too.
Your food will get cold.
Probably.
Yeah, well, that dog will come right in here and eat it.
I didn't mean now.
But I do.
And he's making like bachelor style spaghetti and meatballs.
Yeah,
it's just awful.
It's meatloaf too.
Oh, meatloaf. That's what's
it's
making meatloaf. Yeah.
It's like the most like I like meatloaf, but it's not the sexiest of food.
What is it?
It's love pie.
Yeah, you're not gonna make that for a girl you're trying to hook up with.
Yeah,
unless she really likes
unless
meatloaf.
she's just like, that's what I want.
Like
the
if
loaf.
you're the kind of guy who just does that without asking, then you probably also keep your socks on.
Exactly. He's a socks on guy.
He's a socks
You
on
could
kind
tell.
of guy.
You
yeah.
can tell.
Where'd he go?
Los Angeles.
What have they got in Los Angeles they don't have here? That's all you guys think about.
There's also a running gag about how he apparently went to LA to get himself laid, but it's not really clear if that's what happened. It's just what everybody thinks happened.
Everybody thinks that everyone he runs into is like, so what'd you do in LA, huh?
He goes to see Edmund O'Brien, who runs the local sort of general store, liquor store.
Say, Ernie told me that you really showed him how to do it down there in Los Angeles.
Do what?
Well, you know.
No, I don't know.
And
It's
it happens
very
like
weird.
4 times.
Yeah.
Doing what?
You don't have to talk about it, Abel.
Because he realizes from his talk with the vet tech that dogs, when they kill you, they bite you in the neck. But all her wounds were on her wrists and her legs, so what the hell? So he orders the body to be exhumed.
You were right to dig her up. The inquest was wrong. She didn't bleed to death, she drowned. Obviously, the dog was trying to pull her out.
But booze?
Yes.
A lot of it?
Oh, yes, enough.
But she did drown.
Yes, she drowned.
But not seawater.
Not seawater, and she was found in the ocean. So obviously someone tried to make it look like killed somewhere else and dumped in the ocean.
Yeah.
So the dog's off the hook very fast. Well, first like 15 minutes, the dog is not...
James Garner adopts the dog for the time being.
Begrudgingly, because they don't have a place to board it, so he stays at the house.
There's a scene where he's in bed with Catherine Ross and he's petting the dog on the nose and doesn't realize that that's the dog's command to attack.
Yeah, so the dog flips out and
flips out on
they
him.
shit the bed practically.
Murphy, now stop.
Okay, it's a murder. It's official murder investigation. Let's do some investigating. He finds out that the woman was recently divorced. So
Yes.
he goes to talk to the husband, who's like this playboy, and at one point shows up
Peter
with
Lawford.
It's Peter Lawford. It's Peter fucking Lawford.
Wearing with a big bushy haircut.
He shows up at one point in the movie with like a hot-ass 19-year-old.
Yeah.
Do you have a motel here with vibrator beds, Chief?
I beg your pardon?
You know, magic fingers where the whole bed just vibrates.
I like the scene where James Garner comes to see him at his club and is like, so, you know, what happened in your marriage? Why did she leave?
Yeah.
And Peter Lawford gives this kind of like somber soliloquy about what happened to his marriage.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not terrible. It's not great. You can just you can see in his eyes that he is like, I am crushing this scene.
She'd found someone else. And she'd fallen in love, she said. For the first time.
Like, he really thinks he's doing some serious acting. But it's like, imagine if Peter Lawford played Tom Snyder. That's what he looks like.
Exactly. And Peter Lawford, God bless him, never a great actor.
No.
But
except in that Lassie movie, he was good in that.
Yeah, he was. He was all good. And Angel's Revenge.
Yeah. Around the same time period.
In that MST, the Angel's Revenge, one of the host segments is they have a machine that measures the humiliation of the actors in it, and it's measured in Lawfords.
Shame emits tiny waves best measured in units of Lawfords, kilolawfords, megalawfords, and so on.
Kind of a reason for that. But so Peter Lawford is like, she left me for another woman. It hurts him so hard.
Can you imagine coming home and your wife says she's leaving you for someone else? And you say, who, Phil? And she says, no, Phyllis.
That's the ultimate put down.
And so now our boy, James Gardner, Abel Marsh, is looking for maybe a woman.
I sure hope it doesn't turn out it's that nice lady he started dating.
Yeah, that would be a huge bummer, huh? Well, that's what the movie wants you to think.
It certainly tries to tell you that that's what's happening.
And Gardner believes that.
And he acts on that conclusion in a really unpleasant way.
I want you to tell me how you...
He's talking to one of the locals that you've come to learn in the movie, and they're like, yeah, what's that dog's name? Murphy? That's a dumb name. And he's like, well, that's what the dog's name is. And he's like, wait, how did she know the dog? Because when he goes to see the dog for the first time and meets her for the first time, she tells him the dog's name is Murphy. So he goes and an unpleasant scene unfolds.
Tell me how you knew the name was Murphy, and you tell me now. Tell me now!
Where we find out that she was told the dog's name by Hal Holbrook.
Yeah, who hasn't been in the movie since the first scene he appeared in.
Exactly.
And by law of economy of character actors, you know that he's the killer from the second it starts.
Exactly.
He's sort of the killer.
He's not the killer, but he's involved. He's definitely involved.
And it turns out that the dead woman had an affair with Hal Holbrook's wife, and then also Hal Holbrook, and so the wife, June Allison,
killed her, June Allison.
And Hal Holbrook helped cover it up.
Yep.
And then there's a scene at the end where he confronts Hal Holbrook at his office,
and
Hal Holbrook
goofy.
jabs him with a needle full of dog tranquilizer, so much that it might actually kill him.
Yeah. So he's there, and he's like, he goes in, he's like, I know you did it, Holbrook. And he's like, I'm putting you under arrest. And so he's walking out with him, and he's laying down, while he's walking up to the car, he's laying down, here's how I know. You knew the dog's name, blah, 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 blah. You were blah, all these things. And Holbrook isn't saying no. And a woman comes up with a little dog, and she's like, my dog. And Holbrook's like, hey, man, could we pause my arrest for murder so I can help this one last dog? And James Garner, who's been not a great cop the entire time, is like, absolutely. And Holbrook's like, hey, can you hold the dog, James Gardner? And James Gardner, again, is like, oh, yeah, no problem. And so he goes and he fills a syringe. So there's actually a scene that goes on for a few beats where Holbrook is standing in front of him. He's holding the dog. He has the needle. And you're just like, you fucking idiot.
Again.
What about Tarquinius?
It turns into a car chase.
And he's on the radio with Catherine Ross chasing the car, and she's like, that drug he gave you, it could kill you. Like, good to know. Anyway, he wakes up in the hospital a few days later. He's fine now. Hal Holbrook's vanished, sort of.
Yeah.
James Garner comes back to work, talks to one of the deputies, and the deputy's like, his car was still in his garage. And Harry Gordino, the state police officer, he's like,
left you in the field, drove home, parked his car, and hid inside his own place. That takes a lot of cool.
Yeah, well, he had heard these clowns taking over, and he'd sized them up.
He was inside the house the whole time.
And he still is.
I don't believe it.
They're like, you didn't check at his house when his car was there? You've been looking for this guy?
Yeah.
So they just go to his house.
Yeah, and he's hiding in his house. But it's not over yet. Because at this point, everyone thinks it's still Hal Holbrook.
Yes.
And so when James Garner goes in, he finds them, and they're on their way out. And on his way out, Hal Holbrook is like, well, I didn't kill any of them. And James Garner believes him at this point. But then James Garner is hit on the back of the head by some unseen assailant. And Hal Holbrook runs out of the house. And James Garner wakes up, and he runs out, and he's like, stop! It's not him, but...
Watkins! Peter, don't shoot!
Too late, because the...
Harry Gordino shoots him
Yeah,
dead.
the state police shoot him in the back with a shotgun, like you do.
It's awful.
Out of the house comes his wife, who runs up to
and monologues
his
the whole
and
thing.
And monologues the entire ending, like, I would have got it away, too, if it wasn't for you pesky cops.
And that dog.
And that dog. And that's when she spills the beans that she was... The murder victim was kind of like a libertine. She was banging everyone.
Yeah.
And... she especially got mad that she couldn't have her to herself, that she had to share this woman with her husband. Yikes.
Yeah.
Gross. And the end is...
well, at the end, Catherine Ross decides she's going to split town and that they shouldn't go out
because she's mad
anymore.
that...
You tried to choke me out. She leaves, and the last little bit is him talking to one of his deputies going like, hey, if you see her car getting out of town,
Yeah, he calls...
tell me where she goes.
Yeah, follow her and let me where he goes. So you're like, oh, maybe they'll hook up, but like, is that good?
I don't really think that should happen. I think that relationship's probably going to hit the skids.
Because it ends with, they have a little talk before she leaves, and she's like, and this is when you thought I did it. And he's like, yeah, it's when I thought you did it. And she just goes...
What a bummer.
Because she liked him, you know?
Wah, wah.
Oh, well. Well, how many paws are you going to give this?
I'm going to give this 3 paws because as much as it's not a very good movie, it has all of these moments of idiosyncrasy and strange humor. So like, I wasn't bored, but at no point was I thinking that it was good.
Yeah, and I'm going to give 2.5 for the exact same reason, which is like right down the middle. You know, it does, like you said, it has those weird moments. There's a whole thing in the movie where he keeps saying the word neat.
That's right. It's like his catchphrase.
It's his catchphrase.
That's what happens at the end, too.
Yeah, yeah. Like one of the last words might be neat.
It's very much proto-Rockford.
Yeah.
You can see.
Oh, very much.
You can see the seeds of something that could be really good
And
here. It has that laid-back vibe.
Sure. Yeah, and seeds for movies that would come that would be similar, kind of like small town cop murder, investigation that's maybe a little over their head.
Well, apparently the writer wrote multiple failed TV shows or short-lived TV shows that had very similar sort of settings and characters.
That's his thing. That was his go-to.
That was his word.
Yeah, exactly. Next time
it'll be a surprise.
Surprise dog movie because it's up to Emily. All right. Well then, I guess
that was your dog movie.
You'll see it next time.
Here it is. I missed.
Well, that was episode 116.
116.
Good job, everybody. Good job, Rich. Thanks for doing the episode with me.
Hey, no problem. I'm here to fill in when needed.
And thanks for finally talking about The Night Before the Strike because I watched it.
I've been trying to get him to watch it for a while.
I watched it because you told me to, and I loved it. And I was like, I shouldn't be the one to talk about this, though. So we've been waiting for an opportunity for you to do it.
Yeah. The occasion arose, and I seized it. I know what movie I'm going to do next time. Should I do this again? And so I already got it picked. And I won't tell you guys yet. It'll be a secret.
Yeah, I don't want to know.
But it sort of recently came out on a, Arrow, we'll say. Or Umbrella, excuse me.
Oh, okay. It's not Radiance? Radiance is my department.
It's Radiance. No, this is definitely an Umbrella release. A movie that I have a soft spot for that I love.
Oh, great.
So we'll get to that.
Send us your mailbags. We want to know what you're watching. We want to know what your pets are watching. We know if you came to Video Store Day and didn't tell us what you picked up, do that now. There's plenty of time to do that. Rent some movies in person, rent movies by mail.
Yeah. Come into the store.
Get some merch.
Come in, just drop a rolled money on the table. Get out if you want to, whatever. What do you want to do?
Get a sock full of quarters. We'll take it. That's
exactly.
fine.
Bring it back old school. Send us some Baconators.
Baconator.
We haven't had Baconators in a while.
A New Year's Baconator sounds pretty choice.
Yeah, they hit the spot.
And, it's going to be Thanksgiving. Time this airs, it's going to be Thanksgiving soon. So happy holidays, everybody.
Exactly.
And we'll see you real soon.
Yeah, thanks
Till next time.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, Viva Physical Media.
Yeah.
Neat.